Okay, let's look at some vent piping and hot water, cold water. So this is the sanitary that I've piped up a little earlier. So what we need to do is connect the vent piping. Okay, so we're going to connect the two lavatories, the urinal, vent piping for this floor drain, and the two water closets. And we're going to make our riser here up to the through the roof. Let's look at a section view just so we can. Okay, and let's go to that view. So we're going to go up through the roof here. Okay, let's go back and let's start doing our vent piping. Okay, so we're going to connect here. Make sure that that's green. We're going to come out to about right here. So it's 1/2 inch, and we go clockwise. Make sure the slope is no slope and that our pipe type is going to be vent piping. System type is vent. Okay, so it looks like we're okay in that area. And let's do the same for this second lavatory. And I think all we need to do now is just check our pipe type. Okay, everything else is probably good. So that's that. And let's modify this pipe and connect the two. Let's just fill it, that pipe, with that vent pipe. And what we're going to need to do is create a similar pipe, but we're going to make a riser out of this pipe. Okay, and that riser is that right. So that's the midpoint of our 1.5 inch vent pipe. So I'm going to enter pipe start point, right, which is here, and the middle elevation is going to be 11 feet. Okay, so we go up at 45 degrees. Let's go at 45 degrees. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is connect our urinal and our floor drain vent. And from here, after we connect those two, we're going to connect into this riser. Okay, so let's continue and get our vent piping for our urinal. And again, we go clockwise, make sure everything is cool. 1.5 inch, no slope, and our vent pipe. Okay, the system is good, so we come out to about right there. Now we're going to need to change our elevation. Okay, everything looks good, no slope. We come out again, we can go 135 and connect here. Okay, now let's get our floor drain. We're just going to get our vent piping because all of these have traps. So if there is a trap, we're going to need to vent. Okay, let's clockwise again. Make sure that we have a pipe type that is vent. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Make sure we get about right there. And once we get up into the ceiling at 11 feet and 45 or 135, okay, so that's going to be there. And I'm going to change, well, what I can do, I know that this top is the cold water. This node is our vent pipe. Okay, so I'm going to choose that and go around and make sure our vent is correct. Okay, and we choose that guy. Do the same thing with our other water closet. Draw our pipe, and we change the pipe type to a vent type system. Okay, now that looks good. And what I can do at this point is modify the two and make sure that we fill it. It's good. Do the same thing that we did with the other back-to-back plumbing fixtures, which was our lavatory, and that's the midpoint of the 2-inch, right? So we choose that, and we are going to go up, because it's going to be a riser. Let's go up 20 feet, okay? We go back down to make sure that's right. So now we apply to that current offset, right? So we make that. Okay, now we're going to need to align our vent pipe into our riser. And what we can do, I'm using a hotkey. I'm typing DL, which is our detail line, and I want to come out so that I can align at 135, right? These angles. So when I connect, I want, and this is going to be a 45-degree angle, right? So now what we need to do is align, right? So I'm going to align the pipe. Choose here and align this pipe, and let's get rid of our construction line or our detail line. Okay, so I'm going to drag the pipe onto our riser, okay, to about right there. Okay, so let's look at how that looks. So let's go to a 3D view and look at that. Okay, so what we've done is we've connected our pipe to our vent riser, and what's important here is make sure that our fixture units are being populated, right? So looks like we're good with 18. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so the vent piping is good. So now what we're gonna do is let's do the water piping. So with that, I'm going to turn off the vent and the waste so that those pipes are out of the way. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's do our cold water. Okay, so let's make sure the cold water filters are on. And okay, so both of those guys are on. So we can come here and let's start with our cold water. Make sure that's 1.5 inch for cold water, no slope, cold water. Okay, and we can go there. Do the same for our other water closet. Okay, so we make sure that our pipe type is cold water, and we can go here. Okay, and to fill it, to bring these two guys together, and we're going to create a similar pipe from here, right? And the middle elevation is going to be, let's go up 5 feet, okay? Because what we're going to need to do is get the water and connect to this urinal, but we need to go up enough, okay? So all we need to do is drag this guy over, okay? So if we look at a section view of this pipe, you see, so we're here. Let's go back. What I want to do is show the urinal, so that we are above, and which is the reason why I had to go up 5 feet, okay, because the urinal is going to connect. So we went up less than, say, 3 feet, it would not have worked. So let's go back and connect our urinal. That's going to be this node, okay, and what we need to do is check cold water, okay, and I'm going to go all the way out to the blue line. It's going to connect. Now we need to connect the cold water for our 2 lavatories. The cold water is on the right hand side, okay, and it is copper cold water, 1/2 inch, okay, and here cold water is on the right hand side. We are here. Make sure our pipe type is copper cold water, domestic cold water, okay, and we are there. Okay, so looks like the cold water is hooked up, except what we need to do now is go down into the ceiling of the first floor. So I'm gonna draw this pipe, okay, and negative, let's say 10 feet, right, and apply to the current offset, okay. Let's try that again. Okay, draw a pipe here, negative 10, apply, okay. So let's look at that section, make sure that went down, okay. So let's draw another pipe, make sure that we get to the elevation that we need, because the negative 10 was a random just to get us down into the ceiling. But what we need to do now is have the pipe at the elevation that we need in the ceiling, which in our case is going to be, the reference level is level 1, right? And our pipe, we know that our cold water middle elevation is going to be predetermined 10'6" in the ceiling, right? So once we do that, now we're in the ceiling at 10'6", okay? The hot water is at 10'8". Let's go back and get the hot water in our plan view of the second floor, and so that we're not looking at any other piping, we're going to turn off the cold water. Okay, that's just okay. Filter, so the cold water is off, so it's not in our way, okay. So now we're going to get our hot water, right? And the hot water is on the left hand side, okay, clockwise 1/2 inch. That's the elevation. There's no slope, and the pipe type is going to be hot water, okay. So we come out about right there, and hot water again on the left hand side. We draw our pipe, and the type is going to be hot water again, and we come out about right there, okay. Now we're going to need to create a similar pipe that's going to go down, and this pipe, let's say it's at, we can draw it here. Let's just draw it about, I'm going to need to increase the size to maybe 3/4 inch. Okay, there's no slope, and we are about right there, okay. Because the cold water, let's turn the cold water back on, make sure we're not interfering with the cold water piping. Okay, so that looks good. Undo that, okay. So, and what I'm going to need to do is go down again to an elevation in the ceiling. Let's do a -10 again and apply that. Okay, and let's go look at that section like we did for the cold water. Okay, and it's there. Let's draw a pipe, and again the reference level is going to be the first floor, right? So we change the reference level to level 1, and the middle elevation is going to be 10'8", right? Okay, now let's go back and look at our floor plan, make sure that everything is good. So let's connect the two lavatories up. Okay, so we can fill it the 3/4 inch with our 1/2 inch. Okay, let's change that. Let's go back and have this guy. Let's make that 1 foot. The elevation is going to be 1 foot, right? Because we don't need to go up so high because of the lavatories aren't up that high because we're coming from below. Let's look at that section. Okay, you see, so we can connect our two lavatories from below. We don't need to be up this high, right? So we can be at 1 foot, right? Let's undo, make sure that's back. Let's go back to floor plan and connect the two. We can fill it here, okay, and extend the lavatory to that. And okay, now let's go back and make sure everything is okay. Let's look here and go to our 3D view, and okay, so that looks good. Okay, there's a little interference, but we're not going to worry about that. What we need to do is let's look at, I'm going to turn everything on at this point and go to what we would have plotted, right? And these are the plot files. Second floor waste is what's going to go on the sheet. Okay, so there's no interference with the water, hot water or cold water, which has its own floor plan. Okay, let's take a look at that, and then we can fill in the rest of these with notes. That's cold water going down, hot water going down, the rest, you know, however you guys need to tag that information. But those two sheets, this will be plotted, okay? But the overall is going to show everything, right? Okay, so let's stop for now and hope that can steer you guys in the direction, you know. Hope that helped, and I'll talk to you guys later.